My name is Samuel Rafowitz, Rafowitz, born in Europe, in Poland, 1922nd, 22nd, 5th, 1925. Went to a Polish school for 7 years.
Can you tell me a little bit about your family?
Yes. My family, my father passed away very young. I don't remember him. I had another sister who had 2 kids. My mother used to be the bread giver for us, and that sent us to schools. And I spent 7 years in the schools with the Polish school, Poland.
What languages did you speak at home?
Yiddish, Polish. Yeah, Yiddish, Polish. That's about it. Yiddish.
Did your family belong to a synagogue?
Yes.
Was it a community, a large Jewish community?
I don't even
remember.
I don't even know. I went Saturday once in a while with the family, with an uncle and whatever. Because mine, when I had time, it's either school or soccer play. You know, that's very, very active in sports. My younger years, as a young kid till they got me. Anyway.
Did you notice about anti-Semitism while you were in school?
Oh yeah, very active. I heard a lots of you Żyd, you Jew, Żyd, and I used to fight him back. You know, I mean, what could you do? And sometimes we were lucky to stop him. Some kept on telling us. Not, I told him I have a name, and I beat up quite a few guys there. You know, but.
How old would you have been at that time?
Well, when I started school, I was 7, and finished, I was 14, 7 years.
Yes.
And then the war started, 1939, started the war. And it didn't take long till the Germans occupied Poland. They had no resistance. I mean, they just walked over. And of course, from there on, it was no more school, no more cheder. Everything disappeared, and
were there many Jewish kids in your class?
Some of them, mostly Poles. Also some Jewish, a few Jewish girls. We had a few Jewish boys. It's a combination.
Can we back up just a little? Can you tell me a little bit about your father's occupation and
my father passed away, but I don't remember my father.
Oh, okay.
But his occupation was in with the other uncle. It was a family. They were working with steel, like for steelers, for farmers, manufacturer, all items. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like those years, they had a store in a town in Poland, which they made for farmers to cut the corn and the wheat, you know, and the farmers, special items for farmers, and some other items. I was a young kid. I didn't pay attention too much.
Did you pay much attention, or did you know too much about your father's family or mother's family?
Father's family, there were 5 brothers. 5 brothers. My mother's family, she had 2 more sisters and 1 brother, Reuven, which they took him away from me in Lublin, Majdanek. Stayed with me. He was about 29 years of age, 28. It took him away. I've never seen him again.
So what happened when the Germans occupied your little town?
Well, I was in Warsaw. Warsaw was not a little town. It was a big town. So one day, let me tell you the story. They had an announcement. They need young people to clean out big buildings in Warsaw. They need them clean because they in the ghetto. And you're going to get paid and you're going to get food. So I called myself and I went to work with some other guys, young boys, and they took us into buildings which they empty out from Jewish families, and they brought in evidently their families to it was beautiful buildings in Warsaw, nice in the area, I tell you. And we cleaned them out. It took us probably for about 6 weeks working around in the Jewish neighborhood. It became a ghetto later, but they had families there. And every day they used to bring us back to the homes in the ghetto, and they gave us some bread and whatever. One day when we went through, instead, this was in 1941. Instead to bring us all back where we used to live, they drove us right in with a big truck to Majdanek, Lublin. You ever heard Majdanek, Lublin?
Yes, yes. That was how far from Warsaw?
1941. It was about, I would say, close to 100 kilometers. Yeah. And
where was your family at this time, the rest of your family?
My mother and my sister stayed in the ghetto, in the Warsaw ghetto.
So you don't know what happened to them?
Oh, I knew what happened to them.
I know, but
I knew. I found out later. I have it in my story.
You sure remember a lot. You have good.
I remember everything.
Yes.
Remember everything.
What I wanted to ask you is if you had any pre-warning that the Germans were coming in to occupy your town.
No.
Did you know they were coming, or did it happen like overnight?
Overnight, they marched in. They didn't.
Just marched right.
Poland, they didn't. No resistance. No resistance. I mean, there's a message now. That's okay. They had no resistance. I was a young kid. I was 14 years of age, 14 and a half. You know, and I've seen a different in what I've seen right away. The same thing. But you got the picture with the cutting. Lots of Jewish beards. Yes. I walked up on the street. We didn't know we were going to be killed. And that's what they did, you know. Yeah.
So you were evidently pretty strong at that time.
Oh, yeah. I was only very strong.
That's probably saved your life, I should think, that you happened to be a strong young man.
I was. My life, you know, I made up my mind. When I came to Majdanek, I've seen it, 1941, and I did all kinds of work, and I said, as long as I'm not going to get a bullet, I'm going to see to live. And I stood away from trouble. Mostly the people they managed with us in Majdanek was Ukrainian people, Ukraine murders. Let them talk to me about the Ukrainian people there in Majdanek. So they killed, a Majdanek guy took my number on it. I heard him and he hit me, you know. But anyway, so
hold up your arm. Let's see if I get a picture of that. If I could really read it.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if I can just see that. You are number 129. Looks like 552.
That's it. You got it.
Wow. Okay, got it. Okay. Let's see, where were we?
We were with Majdanek, Lublin.
You were in Majdanek.
Yeah.
So what job did you have while you were there in Majdanek?
We started to work on whatever we built highways, we built barracks, it took us to ammunition to work with bullets, sort them up in packages, and they send them out all whatever, who knows where. We just sort them up, bigger ones, smaller ones. the ref and everything, you have a German with a machine gun watching us, what we're doing. We did everything. Over 2 years was a long time.
You went through different seasons, the winter.
Winter, summer, same clothing, paper clothing, shivering, but young, you were able. I don't know, said it was pleasant, it was no good, but you suffer.
They did feed you a little something every day.
We got some soup in the morning, soup in the afternoon, 3 times soup, I think, with a slice of bread. Once in a week in Majdanek they gave us a piece of meat. I remember salami or whatever, and that was it. I was strong, but you start to lose it,
Did they have a roll call in Majdanek?
What do you mean?
Roll call where they took attendance of the people, like a Pell. I understand.
An appel?
Yes.
Yeah, we get up in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, sure. 5 or 5:30.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And then we stood all outside, they counted us, an appel, sure.
An appel.
Sure.
I think I pronounced it the wrong way.
No, an appel, sure.
It like apple.
Yeah, an appel, oh sure. They had an appel.
And that was every morning.
Oh yeah, every morning, winter and summer, Same clothing, same thing. You have seen the clothing.
Yes.
You have seen nice
striped clothing.
I have a little picture here with me, even though I'm holding it. When I came to after the liberation, I still wore it.
Yeah,
with a beret and
I'd
everything.
like to see a picture of it when you.
I saw it.
Later. Okay.
Saw it here,
So you were in Majdanek, what, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
Till 1943.
When you were in Majdanek, have you had any idea, anything, or were you in touch with your parents, or your mother, or sister? Did you know anything about them?
Well, let me tell you. I knew they brought them in later from Warsaw. They brought them in later from Warsaw. A different bunch of women. They came in, I think, in 1940. My sister and my mother came into Majdanek. Could be the end of 1942, because they sent me away with another bunch of people, and my sister was in the women's in 1943 to Auschwitz, and I saw my mother going to work one morning, and a rainy morning. Men were going this way, and women were going kind of next way, kind of looking the opposite way. And it was a rainy morning. It was the beginning of 1943. I think it was raining or something. And my mother saw me, and she jumped out from the line. She was in 5. Took off her sweater and put it on me. The Nazi son of a bitch, a woman with a machine gun. So I should go, game on the in their line. I should go back in my 5-sub line with the machine gun. And I called her, schießen, shoot! She didn't. Pushed in my mother there, didn't put the sweater on me. If you're going to have a chance to see my DVD, you're going to see that thing.
Yeah, I look forward to getting it.
That's the only time I've seen my mother. I've never seen.
That was the last time you saw her. What about your sister?
My sister. Was
she in line with her?
No. She was not in line. I don't know up till the day, to that March, when I saw my mother walking with a bunch, my mother was 41 years of age, with a bunch of other women her age, because they looked over, they make special, what do you call it, in selections, selections. The people that looked if you can work, you on your body every time. Selections, if this was the march already to the crematorium there in Majdanek, because they had crematoriums there, like in Birkenau, like in Auschwitz, like in Birkenau. Or they went to work. This I don't know. I could never find out from nobody. Because I've never seen again. I couldn't see it. They were separated, but this was accidentally. So, no, my sister stayed in Majdanek. She was young. She was 2 years older than I was. And she was a strong-looking girl, blonde and everything. And she worked in Majdanek. And from Majdanek, like they transferred me to Auschwitz, they transferred my sister to the Auschwitz. And that night, when I was waiting, we took a shower and everything, and we knew we're going to Auschwitz, okay? And the soldiers told us, there we do. I've seen a bunch of women in the other shower there. So I said, I'm going to risk my life. What are they going to do to me? So I asked a German soldier if he wouldn't mind to go into the woman there and ask if there's a Helen Rafowitz, and tell her that the brother see her, I'd like to see her. Would you let me do that? He said, jawohl. And he said, I will do it for Ihnen. And the soldier went into the woman. They were already take showers that time. Later my sister told me, because my sister lived through. But anyway, when the soldier called Helen Rafowitz, you speak German a little bit? No. He said, your brother wants to see you. He see you. Don't be afraid. Don't, hab mir keine Angsten in German. Don't be afraid. She didn't want to answer. So he came out and he said, Helen Rafowitz is not answering me from you. I said, go in again. Tell her I'm waiting for her here again. And she came out, my sister. And they let me stay with her like 20 minutes. And I said, Helen, I tell you, we going to live through this. And we're going to meet at our place where we used to live in Warsaw. You should remember, it's not going to take long. This was 1943. It's a long time. And my sister went also to Auschwitz. I didn't see her there, but I knew that she's dead in Auschwitz. Yeah.
And your mother?
My mother was gone already. My sister knew they killed her that time already.
They killed your mother?
Oh yeah, she was gas chamber in Majdanek. Yeah, and we knew it. We knew it.
There was only one gas chamber. That was, I think, was that the only one in Majdanek?
No, in
gas chamber. They had.
This was there, and they had them in Birkenau, Auschwitz.
Yes.
And Auschwitz was the big thing. The big thing. Many ovens. You know, I saw them. This, I was there. I saw it.
You don't hear too much about gas chambers in Majdanek. You
Oh
don't
yeah.
hear much about it.
No Holocaust survivors, Jewish, went out from there alive. I told you the story. That woman caught me. I was with my family there, and she said to me, Mr. Sam, a Polish woman, you're the only one, after so many years, showed up as a Holocaust survivor. We'd never seen anybody coming here.
Probably nobody lived. Or
nobody
even wanted to come back if they did survive.
Exactly. I went with my family, with my sons, my grandkids. My grandkids, two of them. I went twice back, from America.
With your grandkids, yeah.
The grandkids, with my both sons, and then with my daughter-in-law. I went with all of them back. I was not afraid as long as I was a goer, and I wanted they should know what happened.
Did they turn it into a museum in Majdanek?
And
did they turn it into a museum? Some of the camps they turned into museums.
Oh yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lots of museum there, a big thing, and they built it up. The Polish did it. Yeah, they did it. I've seen it. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, museum.
Let's see, what happened, or if you could continue, what happened
In Auschwitz?
that you were sent from Majdanek to Auschwitz.
One from
And once
Majdanek.
you get to Auschwitz, can you tell me what happened?
Majdanek, we came in, as you probably know, when you walk into Majdanek, it says, right, Arbeit macht frei, work will make you free, you know that. Yeah. You've been out there in Auschwitz?
Yes.
No. Okay. And they give me the number, right, when I went back in, and this means you go to work, and the people, what they didn't get a number, went there, you have never seen them. Either way. I worked in different places in Auschwitz. I worked in...
that would have been 1943.
1943. And I worked there probably in Auschwitz. I was over a year, because from Auschwitz, later I'll let you know about it, I'll tell you. And I worked in big places. And one of the places I worked most often was for IGA, the big IG. You heard of this IGA or?
Yes. Yeah.
And they own the fabric, all the manufacturing there for the war. And I worked with a Polish guy that he on pipes, and that Polish guy Kazimierz, I used to give him bundles of asbestos, and he used to cover the pipes with asbestos. And every time he needs a roll, I used to give him in. He was a tall guy, Polish. And I worked there, I would say, in this particular commando, about 3 or 4 months. A commando means a job.
Yes.
In that place, we were inside, okay, guarded by SS and stuff. Okay, when I went through from this asbestos, my eyes and my face and everything. Thanks God I came out with strong lungs. Didn't kill me. I checked it. Later on I found out. And I was 6 months working with it. After that, I worked, I don't know if you familiar, Germany made airplanes, F1, F2, that threw them in England with no people.
Yeah.
Okay? And I got a new job to put the wing, with the wings, to put it together with that special machine to put the wings together, And this was my work there on this one. Believe in me, and I told my family, and I told it many times people about it. When they looked away, I did not. I skipped. If at times I didn't put them together, the Germans like, no, we're not good. Yeah, I said, yeah.
You were fast.
Oh, they never made it. Anyway, and after Auschwitz, they got me to Buna. You heard Buna.
So there was no one else in your family that was with you when you were in Auschwitz? There was no family, extended family, nothing, nobody?
Nobody. I hope that...
You were alone.
I hope I was alone. The young guy. From Auschwitz, they sent me to Buna. There was another camp in Buna, not far, about 7-8 kilometers. And Buna was a little bit more quieter, and also by the Nazis, and we got up every morning, like always, and we did all different highways and built homes and built everything for the war, whatever they needed. One day, more than one day, they even took me into the city, and they had a big factory from cheese, and they sent it out for the soldiers, cheese, butter, and they made me work there with them. It was good because with Polish guys, they used to sneak you in a piece of cheese, a piece of bucket, if you can, and this was one commando. And then I worked again with bullets and with all different in Buna, okay? And this was already 1944. And we saw that the war is taking a turn. We can see that.
See it and hear it, right?
And when the Russians came close to Auschwitz there and to Buna, they were not far. They started to bomb the factories and everything. They got us all on trains, and they moved us to Dora, Dora. Did you ever heard of Dora?
No.
From anybody? Dora was a camp. No bomb could ever go down. Now, in Dora, again, we manufactured again those planes where they used to send an England with no people, okay? In Dora. This was 44, okay? And I worked there in this big place. We heard the airplanes, but they could not bomb. No bomb could go through, no bomb. And I worked there till the end of 44. And then it got close, the Russian army came close, and they moved us all from that place to Bergen-Belsen. And this was already 1945. And I was there 1945, January, February, March, 3 months. In April 15, 1945, we were liberated from the English army. Okay? I was sick. I couldn't take it anymore. I fell and I weighed 78 pounds. And the English army rushed me right away to a Catholic hospital, and they survived me there in that hospital. This is a short, what I'm telling you, a short vision to tell you about.
Did you wind up in a deportation center?
I was in Bergen-Belsen.
Yeah.
Liberated there. In fact, I emigrated later from Bergen-Belsen to America.
I can't remember. Did you have family in America? Any part of a family? Did you have a choice where you were going, America or Palestine? Or?
Oh, let me tell you. My sister lived through, okay? She lived through, Helen lived through. And this is, if you're going to see my DVD, I want you to look at. I found my sister in Reggio Emilia in Italy. I walked. I smuggled myself in November 11, 1945, from Bergen-Belsen. I was liberated at that time. I heard. When I came, okay, see this picture?
Yes.
Okay. All right, can I put it away?
Wait a minute.
I'm going to get it.
I'll tell you in a minute. I'm going to get a little closer. Right, don't move it, don't move it. Don't move. Stay where you are. Don't move. Okay, I see the picture. Okay, now I'm going to go back and get you. Tell me about it.
Okay. Can I put away the picture?
Yes.
Okay. When I came, you see this picture here? You see I wear a beret?
Yes.
During being in the camps, in Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, I used to get a hold of some old pants from the capos. Capo means the foremen. And when you take a pair of
The
cans,
Jewish foreman.
yeah,
Jewish foreman.
capo is a foreman.
Foreman.
They're most of them were Germans and
Yeah.
criminals. When you take a pair of pens from the stripes, you turn it around. The material was more like you. So I got a hold of those pens sometimes at night. I got a hold from the capos, a little scissor, and for some reason or another, I learned how to make a beret. At night, I used to get a hold of thread. I told the capos, they have an entrance to everything. I said, you give me the thread and the needle, and I'm going to make you a nice little hat, not to have that paper thing what you're wearing. And they were all interested. So I used to cut out at night something, and when I came back from work at night, I would sit at my bed, third row, and I used to make a beret by hand.
Wow.
And they used to
How did you learn how to do that?
I don't know, from my
You
mind.
just made it up.
For my mind. And they used to give me some extra bread for it. And I used to give my friends there. This was a surviving thing, you know what I mean? The food, extra bread.
Wow. So what happened?
So, okay, when I came, you want to know America, when I came to the United States, I said that beret helped me survive. I had a little bread and everything with some other friends. So I started to go, I went to school here at night, 3 times a week, and I tried to learn the language, English.
Where did you go to school?
In St. Paul at night.
Oh, okay.
At night.
You came to America. That was your first stop in
St.
America?
Paul.
St. Paul.
11th of November 1949. I remember all those. And I said, the beret saved my life. I'm going to start to make hats in America. And little by little, I got in touch with people, and I started to make a sample for my beret. And then I started to make I went to stores to see what they're selling in America. That's all I see is baseball cap, baseball, different shape. So I went after that. Never mind, Sam Rafowitz started a little factory to make hats and caps.
In St. Paul?
In St. Paul. In St. Paul, Minnesota. From St. Paul, Minnesota, I moved it to Minneapolis, okay, to the bigger city. And it became a company which it called Northern Hat and Cap Manufacturers. I had all kinds of hats.
Wow.
In time, when my kids finished college, my both sons, they joined my organization. They didn't want it, but I told him, Ivan took political science, my older son, and he's a great piano player on top of it. He had a golden record from a song, which he also was involved in America, Funky Town. I know it's not for your age, but your kids would know what the song is. Take me out to Funky Town, take me out. My son is the piano player. And the other son, Ken, finished as an accountant, you know. He finished right here in Arizona at the college. ASU?
ASU, yeah.
That's what Kenneth. That's the guy he called me now.
Oh, right.
Kenneth called me now. That people...
It's nice they keep in touch with you.
People want to make... The reason he called, people looking for me if I can come to the school and talking about the Holocaust. That's what I do.
Wonderful.
I'm busy. I talk to colleges, to school. The 9th of May already, I have to go to a special we're going to go to a government building and talking about the Holocaust.
In Minneapolis?
It's going to be this in St. Paul. And the mayor is going to be there, and Special Dr. Kennedy, but she's a woman. She's against all killing and everything. She's got a special name. I okayed it. Everything. I called her back and I said I'm going to be there.
I have to tell my son about it. He could go and video.
Oh yeah. Good. Anyway, so that's what I started to make in America.
That's quite a story.
It started, I kept in head company, okay? And I started this in 1950 when I came in 49. In 1950, I had nothing but one machine already in Singer sewing machinery. I didn't have money to pay. They trusted me. And I said, I am going to open my factory here, make different things in America. And later I bought machinery from them. I was a big customer. And this what I started to make hats and caps. Later we had gloves, scarves, knitting, all accessories for skiing, and it became.
It's a big company.
Became a huge company.
And it all started in Bergen-Belsen.
I started to make a beret. To make a beret.
So what did you do from 1945 to until you moved to America in 1949?
I came to America in 1949. Okay, I tell you what I did.
Yeah, from back up just before you came here.
Liberated in Belsen-Bergen, and after I got well out of the hospital, you see, I went to Belsen-Bergen. I was for 6 weeks in a hospital, in the Catholic hospital, and they survived me. And I came back. I had nobody, and I could already stand on my feet.
Well, your sister survived.
She survived, but I didn't know where she is.
Okay.
So when I came out from this hospital, I was sitting where I used to live with 6 more boys in Belsen-Bergen. We had a big room for 6 more boys. I was sitting down and take a piece of paper, and I wrote down, my name is so and so and so. I'm looking for a sister by the name Helen Rafowitz. You see? My name was Rafowicz, Rafowitz. When I came here, I didn't want to be a witch. I heard a witch is a devil. So I told the judge, would you mind making me TZ? He said, no problem. But don't wipe off your name. They will never find you if you make a short name. Okay. So, and I hang up papers on every office in Bergen-Belsen, on every door. If anybody would find a Helen Rafowitz, a blonde, blue eyes, she was in Auschwitz, where she is, or something like that. So I got answers all of a sudden. See, people used to come to Belsen-Bergen to look for family from different places, you know. And one guy wrote a letter, yes, I think, I'm not sure, but I think there was your sister. There was a lady, Helen, blonde, and she went from another camp in Germany to Austria. What city? Judenburg, in Austria. November 1945, beginning of November. Sam Rafowitz, me, took a little briefcase, which she would later became my mother-in-law. The wife, this girl I married, her mother lived through too. The Vilna mother, because they were in more working camps. They were not in Auschwitz or the. And she gave me this briefcase. I told her what I'm going to do. She just know me as I'm a friend to her daughter. Young. And she also gave me American cigarettes. At that time, for American cigarettes, you could do anything. The Germans and everything. And Sam Rafowitz went out, got to the trains, and tried to get to Judenburg in Austria. Smuggled myself for trains to the border. I was not afraid of anything. I was just going. Nobody could stop me. I mean, nobody.
You knew where you wanted to go.
Yeah. And I came to Judenburg in Austria. This was in November 1945. And I came to Judenburg. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? I want to know, is there a Lager here? Is there a camp here? I speak a little German. I mean, not the German. Was here a camp from Jewish people? And some of them didn't know, and some of them said yes, but they already went away. So where did they go? I think they went to Italy. Okay?
This is 45.
Like 1945 November. Sam Rafowitz went on the train. See, when we were liberated, you probably don't know about it, we used to get from the German government, from the Austrian government, little cards. And on that card, it used to say DP, a displaced person. Yes. I don't have a country. Did you ever run into it?
Yes.
Okay. And with this card...
Yes. I heard a lot about that.
Okay. This card, you could travel. On the train, you don't have to pay. This card. Okay? So, from Judenburg, I traveled to Innsbruck. Innsbruck is almost the border from Italy, where the mountains are,
yes.
The skiing. And I got a hold of that conductor, and I said to the conductor in German, how can I get into Italy? And I opened my briefcase, and I had some American cigarettes, and I gave him a pack. For cigarettes, you could do anything. Oh, danke schön, thank you, danke schön, danke schön. Yeah, thank you. He says to me, 12 at night, a train is coming from Russia with Italian prisoners. Russia let them go home. And they're going to open the wagons. It's in not regular trains, in animal trains.
Cattle cars.
Yeah. And when they open this, just jump in. They're going to Italy. Just jump in. I waited. In midnight, a train came, and they opened the doors. And I've seen young people, all tired out. They came from Russia, and I jumped in one of the wagons. And it was November. It was cold. And when I left Bergen-Belsen, I didn't have much clothing. So they gave me from the warehouse there a German blue little jacket. It was a Luftwaffe from the Fliers. And I was blonde. I didn't wear a hat. I already had blonde hair. When I jumped in the train, they were trying to kill me. The Italians were trying to kill me. That's all I heard. Tedesco, you German, Tedesco. And I didn't know what they say, and I screamed. So one guy came to me, and he spoke German, and he says to me, "Wer sind Sie? Who are you?" I told him. He spoke a little English. I told him in German. He spoke German, yeah. And I told him that I am from a concentration camp. I'm Jewish. I'm Jude. I'm Jewish, and I showed him the number. He didn't know what it is. He didn't know. They came from Russia. And I told him that I'm going to Italy to look for a sister. and it's very important to me to find the sister. And I took out the briefcase, and I give him all cigarettes, and he trust me that I tell him the right story. This is it. And he told him they should quiet down, told the soldiers, I'm a camarado, I'm a friend. Camarado.
Even though you were wearing a jacket that said
Yeah.
you were
Oh,
German.
he didn't tell me. I threw away the jacket, by the way.
Oh,
I threw it away in November.
even though it was
I was
cold.
sure. It was cold even in Italy when I came. So he told me, that guy, we're going to get off Italy after the Trento. Trento. You ever been to Italy? Okay. Trento is the first town from Austria, the border. Trento's already Italy. In Trento, all the soldiers here came from Russia, going to go in here to a camp to wash, and they're going to take their name. But you don't have to do that, because they're going to send you back. So when the doors were open in Trento, you just jump. You were Italy already. It's exactly what I did. And when I jumped, he also told me, in Trento, when the train will stop, a priest is going to come in, and he's going to make a prayer over the soldiers and everything. You sit down against the wall, and he's going to, whatever he's going to say, you should say grazia, grazia, danke, grazia. That's what I did. That's what he told me. Grazia, danke. And I was sitting with him, and when the doors opened, the priest walked around, I jumped, and I started to walk. I was in Italy already. I walked for 3 weeks, from one camp to the other. There were lots of camps. Camps from Polish people, really poor. They didn't want to go back to Poland. Some other ones from all different. They wanted to go not back to their home country. And I asked him about Jewish camps. They told me they don't know. So I walked in and finally I got into to one city in Italy. What's the name? I named you the name from the city where I found my sister. Anyway, I got a hold of an old Italian guy. I walked in a city there, and I asked him, "Sprechen Sie Deutsch? You speak German?" And I didn't know Italy. He was an older gentleman. He said, "Klein bisschen, a little bit." I said, "Are there any Jewish people here that came? Juden?" Oh, sagte er, jawohl, yes, jawohl. Walk me 2 miles in the left side. There's a lots of Jewish people there. And it was already, the English occupied that time, that territory, Italy. And I walked, finally the left-hand side. When I walked, I saw a big building, and I saw a little boat, and a soldier standing in that boat with a gun. And I said to myself, it was already like in the evening, in November, what do I do? What do I have to lose? I'm not afraid of anything. And I knocked at that boat. And that guy with that soldier opened that boat door, and I looked at him. I said to him, "Sprechen Sie Deutsch?" Mówisz? He said, "No." "Sprechen Sie Polish?" Mówisz po polsku? "Yeah." And the guy looked at me, and I said, "I'm looking for a sister. Are there any women here?" He said, "Yeah, lots of them." I got him. And the guy looked at me, and he says to me, "Are you Helen's brother?" Just like that. Just like that.
Woo.
I said,
Yes.
"You said Helen Rafowitz?" "Yeah, she's here." And he called someone should should they replaces him, that thing. So, and he went with me to the building on the second floor. He opened the door. He said, look in, there's a bunch of girls. They're all studying. They're studying with him two things: how to speak Hebrew and how to be able to be farmers when they're going to come to Palestine. Don't forget, November 1945 was not Israel.
Right.
It was Palestine.
Yes.
Okay? And that's what I found my sister in Italy.
They were preparing. Yes.
They were English.
Yeah,
Right after the war, the English army, Jewish, and they prepared already girls from camps. They get them together and brought them there. They learn them how to the language and to become farmers. I tell you, I stood there with 300 women. My sister didn't let me go out from the room. I stayed in the same room with 300 girls. At first I said, I can't. I have to throw away my clothing, and I have to take a shower, because the soldiers, when they came back from Russia, they were all dirty and lost up, and and I was with them till we got to Italy.
Wow, what a story!
We started this is the way I brought my sister. And when my sister came, she died. She was 78. She died she went to Palestine later back. She went back when she was in Bergen-Belsen. She went to Palestine back. But she was married already. She was married. They married to a good guy, Max Schwartz. He worked for me. And she had a little baby, and she decided she wants to go to Palestine. And on top of that,
From Italy to Palestine.
no, from Germany, from Bergen-Belsen.
Bergen-Belsen.
Yeah, I brought her back to Bergen-Belsen from Italy, where I came from, because I promised my girlfriend, when she became my wife, that the trip is going to take me 3 to 4 weeks, and that's what I did. Came back with 3 to 4 weeks, with my sister, and with another girl to the mother. That's all story.
That's quite a story. I guess you
can make a film out of this.
Yes.
Yeah. How
Spielberg should be interested in making a film of that.
Do you know how I came back?
From Bergen-Belsen?
No,
Well,
from
you were
Italy.
married, though.
From Italy. No, I was not. Oh, Bergen, I was married. 45. I married in 47. How I came back, though?
From Italy to
Because I couldn't. This was the border to go, and I had to go to Austria back from Italy. I went up to the mountains in November. Snow.
Yes.
I had my briefcase, and we were 4 people. I was, my sister, another young girl, 18 years abroad, accidental to her mother, and I had a guy from Hungary, from Budapest. He says he's going with me. He asked me, he was in that camp too, in Italy. He asked me, Samuel, where are you going back? I told him to Bergen-Belsen. Oh, I want to go. I heard that maybe I'm going to find someone from my family, you know what I mean? I said, you can come. We go to the mountains. I said, I tell you what we're going to do. In snow, November, I'm going to go first, down, 20 feet, and I'm going to take that briefcase. It's like a sled. Throw it up to you. And you come down one, the next one down, and they all 4. Stop them. That's the way we went down to the bottom, from the mountain. There's pictures out of it. That, so when we came down the mountain, hold an American soldier with a machine gun. You know, it was a border. And my sister, she spoke Polish like I do, a beautiful Polish. So she said in Polish, when that soldier halt, she said in Polish, cholera psia krew, like they say in Americana, goddamn son of a... This gotta happen much again? The soldier. So the soldier said, mówisz po polsku? The soldier said, you speak Polish? He speaks Polish too. He was from Milwaukee, a Polish family.
Incredible.
I tell you, he took us all in. He called in someone should him replace. He took us in on a jeep. He drove us right into the office, to the American office, and I came in there. The Americans were sitting with their feet up on the tables, and they have liquor and cakes on the board. And he said to us, the same guy, said, 2 kilometers from here, there's a train. There's a train coming at night, and this train would take you into to Innsbruck. You know, so from there on, you know what to do. And that's what it was. This is the story the way I found my sister. We got my sister.
That's quite a story.
Yeah.
Now a quick story about your, it doesn't have to be quick, about your getting married. And so you came back to Bergen-Belsen.
I came back to Bergen, and in that time with my sister, okay? And she, my wife, she was my friend at that time. She also had a mother. The mother was also liberated. The mother was, because when I met that friend in Bergen-Belsen, she was only 17 years of age. A young kid, 17 kid. I met her at a tea party. Everybody was looking after the liberation, Bergen-Belsen, to look for family. Everybody, so one lady, young woman, she, in her room where she lived with some other girls, made a little tea to get together and talk a little bit. And this particular became my wife. She was there. I had a hard time to understand her because she talked a Jewish Yiddish different than my Jewish Yiddish, because she's from Lithuania, Vilna. They speak a perfect Yiddish. You speak Yiddish a little? Nothing. So she speaks a beautiful Yiddish. And I had a hard time understanding her. She had a hard time, but she understood me more than her mother. Her mother was very little. So that's why I met my girlfriend to be. I had another date with her, and then she asked me if I want to meet her mother, you know. What was I going to tell you?
You were going to tell me about how you got married.
Okay. So.
And who married you?
So I will.
A little bit about that.
Yeah, okay. So when I came back in 1945, it was before the end of the year, in November, even the mother, and I came with my sister, and her mother we were going, her mother, my wife's mother, that time was my friend, wanted me to get married, and I says, no. First of all, I am, what will I do? I'm a young kid. I don't know what I will do in life. I cannot get married. Second, I remember that my sister's older, and I remember I had it in my family there when I grew up. The elder married before the younger. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if you know about it. So then my sister came to Belzenberg, and it took a while. She found a nice man, Max Schwartz, and they got married. There were quite a few weddings in Bergen-Belsen or outside.
Yeah.
And
that was 1945.
1945. And she married. My sister married in 1947. I married the 20th of April. I think she married a couple months before. Right after her wedding, I get married. My sister married outside of Bergen-Belsen and went on to the wedding, and I married in Bergen-Belsen. And that's what that officer, a rabbi, in English, he gave us the wedding. I have pictures and everything. So this is the story.
So you went from after you were married. What happened?
After
Where
I
did you go?
after
After
married,
you were married, that was 1945. So
I was married in 47,
in 47
and
in Bergen-Belsen.
lived in Bergen-Belsen in the camp. It was not anymore a camp, like a prisoner camp. English under English occupation, the English occupation, and I and my sister, when she got married, she still took off and went to Palestine with her husband and with a little baby, Chava. You know, I just saw her. I was just in November. I was in Israel,
Oh, nice.
and Chava's there. Believe you me, she finished.
That's nice. Where do they live in Israel?
Rishon LeZion, Rishon LeZion.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure where that is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Beautiful, 20-some mile from a kilometer from Tel Aviv. You been to Israel before?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, but also. Rishon LeZion, it's a beautiful city. Yeah, Rishon, and we were all over. I went with Sandra. I went to Paris to a friend. I have family there. You asked me a question what I did till 47.
Yes.
My wife, Cilla, her name was Cyla, first name. Last name was Bonk, maiden, Bonk, Bonk.
Did she speak other than Yiddish?
No,
No?
she spoke
No English?
She spoke a little English. She learned in school in Vilna, and she spoke Polish. Okay, she was young, and they opened in Belsenbergen a theater, a Jewish. They got together people they know to sing, people they very very famous narrate in pictures, and there were some there. Was a big camp, lots of people there, and the man, Mr. Feder, Feder, he was the all manager. He was from a small town in Poland, and he arranged that. And it was a theater. And this theater took off from Bergen to go to Europe, all Europe, and from Europe to America. Okay?
Okay. That's interesting.
But Cilla, my wife, we had a date to get married April the 15th, April the 5th. No, I met April the 20th, 1947. This was my wedding. And they had to wait till Cilla get married, the whole theater, because she was the main, she used to
She
sing.
was the star.
There's, up till today, there's where you came to Jerusalem, there's a picture for my wife where she dances in this theater, closed up as a Hasidic, with a kippah, with pants lowered over, and she's dancing like a Hasidic. It's a beautiful movie. We got news from it, and I have it. We have it, my son, and we have pictures. We can see it on the computer. Anyway, so they had to wait till I get married. The theater had to wait for her marriage. So we went finally after the 20th of April, short time, we took off for Europe. And we went to Belgium, went to Holland, to Belgium.
Your honeymoon?
Yeah, well, we were there with the theater, yeah.
The theater.
With the theater. And we came to Paris, and they had at that time in Paris, they was packed, and I don't remember if it was for Le Berger, a theater or something. You ever been to Paris?
Yep.
Yeah. I was just there in November, and it was packed. They wanted to see it. It was a cassette means a concentration camp. A concentration camp theater. This what the name was from the troop, from the theater people. Concentration camp. Belsenberg. And I found a cousin there, also Rafowitz, but she lived in Paris all the years, and he came back safe from a camp. The French took him in. He was a different part of camps, Herman Rafowitz, and he saw the name in the paper. He came, he waited. He wanted to know who the Rafowitz is, and I never met him. And then I have family already there in Paris, and we lived a year in Paris. Me and my wife, we went to work. What
did you do?
That's another thing. I went to do both of them. Herman had ladies' clothing, and another brother-in-law had men's clothing, and I went to learn that to sew. I knew this helped me out till I came to America and started something on my own. I hadn't buy the beret, but there I made clothing for him. I laped on the machine. I used to iron and press.
So how long did you work in Paris?
A year, almost a year. Yeah.
That before you came to America, you came to America.
Then I came back to Belsenbergen from France, from Paris, and in 49, the 11th of November, I came to St. Paul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's quite
quite a story.
I was young. I could take it, you know. Nobody could stop me. Yeah.